So, welcome back to more Legacy of the Duelist. Last time we got started with GX, today we continue. So, Jaden and his very stupid friends were wandering the school grounds when they came across an old abandoned dorm that was supposedly haunted. Ooh. To their surprise, Alexis was also there, because she's like, I'm a character who is in the main cast, so why not? They're like, yo, we want to check out this dorm. It's like, that's not very intelligent. It's like, kids disappear inside that dorm. Now, believe me, I know that people get lost inside there. Why else would the school say, no, you're not allowed to do that? If they catch you here, they'll expel you. It's like, oh, why would they expel me for going into one building? This school's a little bit on the crazy side. It's like, oh, my brother went in here and he's gone. I haven't really reported to the authorities or anything. Don't worry about it. It's like, oh, if her brother has really disappeared forever inside of an old building, then it's real. We should leave. He's like, yeah? Let's go in. What? And she's like, man, this is the worst main character, I swear. She's like, oh god, who's this? When Jaden and his friends entered the dorm to investigate, Alexis was captured by Titan, a notorious hitman hired by Dr. Crowler to kick Jaden out of the academy. I forgot how fucking stupid this anime was. He traps her in a coffin! You give me that box. You ain't getting that box. Look at my veins. You gotta beat me in a shadow game. Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like, they're like, yo, remember the original Yu-Gi-Oh? We still got them shadow games. I'm pretty sure it turns out to not be a shadow game, but whatever. They duel. This was very early GX, so it's kind of flooding back to me. Just flooding back. I used paper. You know why? Because I'm a G and I know how to win. Like, this dude's wearing a trench coat with dueling armor and a mask. This is a DeviantArt massacre waiting to happen. Alright, so we have, I think he's used this a bit. Dark Catapulter, that's okay. Probably do Terraforming and get Fusion Gate. Fusion Gate will be really good to just get free fusions, because it means we won't need polymerization while it's on the field. We just need the monsters, and we can just let it go. So that'll be convenient. We'll pass it over to Titan, and Titan will respond with his own field spell, the Archfiend Palabyrinth. That's right, Palabyrinth. The fuck? So he uses Fiend and Archfiend related monsters. I remember that. Let's see. We should use the reinforcement of the army. And, oh, go Clayman. Now, let's see. I think we can fuse this way. I think we could still use monsters in our hand, which we can. We just activate the field spell, choose our monsters, and now we're going to have a force to be reckoned with. One of our best monsters, it's the Thunder Giant. It's a giant of thunder. Put that in attack mode. Alright, we're in good shape. Oh yeah! Look at this fucking animation! I can't believe Thunder Giant is worthy of it, but you know what? Fine. He shot some very low quality lasers at that thing, but hey, like a dude with a fish made this game if you looked at that fucking first episode. Fish with a weird googly eye. Like, it's hard. They take what they can get. I have an idea of something I can make. Wait, really? Oh yeah, Fusion Gate banishes the monsters instead of putting them in the graveyard. I was wondering why, because I was going to see if I could make Mudball Man. But then again, this game also does not give me every single fusion that Jaden has. Even though the monsters needed to fuse them are in his deck, we only have access to Thunder Giant and Flame Wingman. Flame Wingman, which is kind of hard to say, is really good. Because it, like, attacks and destroys the monster. And it's like, okay. But you're always guaranteed to do, to end up dealing, like, your full 2100 points in your attack. It's basically a monster that direct attacks while killing the monster. Because say it's like 800, you beat something with 800 attack, you deal 1300 to him. But then Flame Wingman's effect ends up being, now the opponent takes damage equal to the destroyed monster's attack. And it's cool. That was always a cool, like, way to deal a lot of bonus damage. And 2100 is nothing to laugh at. Especially in the show where they have every character has 4,000 life points instead of 8,000. Like, that's over half. That's gonna end things off quickly. Alright, well, you're fucking dead. To be fair, I didn't even want to summon him. I just didn't pay attention to my graveyard. So, it looks like Archfiends are interesting. They kind of make you pay points. I think they also involve, like, rolling 6-sided dice, and rolling those dice give you different options. Different effects depending on who it is. During your standby, if this card is in defense position, put 1 counter on the card you can remove from blah 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 blah. Alright. Whatever, we're not in any trouble here. We'll bring out Percentatrix, who I believe was censored because she was way too hot for TV. A lot of cards get censored because they're showing too much boobier skin. It's like they're just trying to live their life, man. I'll just discard one of my skyscrapers. Hey! I believe, what did she have to roll to negate that? Because it's clearly what she did. If the results of 2 or 5 negate the effect, destroy the card. So, luckily that didn't happen. But they have effects like that where it's like, I'm gonna roll the die! And it's like, oh, this could be bad. Because my luck with die rolls can just completely screw me. I'm the kind of person who plays a card and it's like, this card will only explode if you roll a 6, and then I'll just roll a 6. And if I have a card that lets me reroll, it's gonna be a second 6. Because that's the way shit goes for me. And at least we can try and make Wingman. Wingman's also great because even if it's on, like, the defensive, it's great. Oh, what are you doing to me? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, my fucking fusion gate's gone. You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna put up my skyscraper. I was excited because I was gonna make Flame Wingman, because if the opponent's in defense, you may not deal its full 2100, but if it kills it, you're dealing whatever their attack is. So it's a really good offensive card. Continuing on. Okay, the model looks good. Every particle effect in this game looks like you could do it on a fucking android. Because it's like that weird, like, energy, like, blue, like, it's, I don't know how to describe, like, the energy that shoots out, like, it feels like it's, like, laser smoke or something. It's not great. It's not great. So, Archfiend's Oath, you can pay, once per turn, 500 life points, then declare a card name, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is the declared card, add it to your hand, otherwise send it to the graveyard. Something you may be wondering, what the fuck does excavate mean? So, I didn't know about this until, like, recently, because I fell out of the game for a little bit, just because sometimes you're just not playing the cards. They've retitled what milling is. It used to be, send the top card of your deck, or anyone who decides to just go with what a popular thing would be, mill. Mill the top card from your deck, which is take the top, put it in the grave. Now they've decided, you know, we need to give it a fucking cool name. Excavate. And it's like, what are you doing? That's like back when it was the graveyard, but then they tried to rebrand the graveyard name for no good reason. and ended up calling it, they ended up calling it the cemetery. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no one cares. You don't have to do this. Rid of some Flame Wingman. We're gonna have him attack the monster in the hopes that we get another, somewhat okay 3D model. So somehow they did not give Flame Wingman an attack model. Are you fucking kidding me? No, this music ain't gonna stop me from going, what the fuck? Also, apparently that monster had enough attack to die. No! Jaden defeated Titan. Good morning. Where am I? Yo, you were in a coffin. Oh. Yeah, someone beat the shit out of me and threw me in a box. We found your card. Oh, it's a picture of my brother. It's really... Thank you. You're awesome. We can't have you getting locked up in any more tombs. She's like, oh man, you're great. We should, like, do sexy stuff. And it's like, cool. Just so I can check, is there anything that happens to that character? Because they just fucking dropped him. I don't know if he comes back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look and see if there's anything else with Titan. Let's see. Ah, I see. So he isn't done yet, but he was interesting. I guess that's a spoiler for the plot. No one fucking cares that much, though. So we've got the For the Sake of Cyrus duel. I don't remember what this is. Cyrus thought he was not strong enough to play card games, even though he signed up to go to a dueling academy. So instead, he leaves a note for Jaden telling him that he's leaving because he's stupid. After finding the note, Jaden and Chumley frantically searched for Cyrus and his brother, Zane. Or I believe his name was Rio Kaiser, which sounds cooler. But this is Zane. He is Cyrus's brother and the best duelist in the school. He's like, what's up, you dropping out? Yeah, I guess. It's about time. It's like, how could you say that? I know him. He's a piece of shit. I bet you think you do, but you don't know him. I've known him for an entire episode. And I'm gonna duel you to prove it. Okay, I'll do that. It's been a while since I went slumming. And so they duel. Zane is an interesting character. He's not necessarily like, hey, I'm evil Kaiba. He's more of, yo, what's up? I'm the fucking best duelist here. And I'm the guy that you, I'd say he's kind of like... Because there's a couple of characters between him and the other rival character for Jaden, Chaz. Which is a wonderful, great name there. Chaz. A lot of people like to argue whether or not, I guess people do, of whether or not it's like Chaz is the Kaiba of the series or it would be Zane. There's kind of a mix between both of them of being a rival character. But Zane's interesting. He isn't like 100% asshole, I gotta win all the time. He's just like, he's the cool champion, I'd have to say. But he does have some rough edges that get roughed out. So, oh, we're actually playing as him as well, because spoilers, he fucking destroys Jaden. So, what does Zane use? He uses Cyber Dragon, which has gotten a resurgence recently with Cyber Dragon Nova and all these other cool cards, but for now we got Cyber Twin Dragon, which can attack twice, and Cyber End Dragon, which can pierce the opponent, which is, if its attack is higher than its defense, damage will be deducted as if it was in attack mode. But yeah, he kind of uses the Blue Eyes equivalent, because these are fun little cybernetic dragons. They can be summoned to the field if your opponent has a monster out and you don't, which is really good. It's a good splash monster, because you can just throw it on the field, no cost. So we have Different Dimension Capsule, which is nice. So it lets you select a card from your deck, banish it face down. It's a secret, right? And during your second standby phase after this was activated, destroy this card, add it to your hand. So we're going to play both of them and attempt to get Cyber End Dragon out because fucking yes. On the bright side, I am a little bit less worried because it's like, oh, he only has 3. What if he screws you over? We still have stuff like Cyber Dragon Dry, which are really good, and it's like Harpy Ladies as an archetype because there are cards and there are options that allow you to say, here's this other card that also can be treated as this monster name. In the same way, there's like 7 Harpy Ladies that are different, have different names. Their descriptions can be treated as this. Granted, some of these things have requirements for them, like Vi over here, which is, once per turn reveal a spell card, this becomes Cyber Dragon until the end. It's like, they're very convenient that way. So, that being said, let's show you an example of that. Activate Vi's effect. Reveal the polymerization, because we're going to use it anyway. So now this thing is a Cyber Dragon. It now says in red. In that case, let's use a poly. Let's pick Cyber Twin Dragon. Fuse our fake Cyber Dragon, technically, with our real deal. And bing bang shebang, we have our twin. 2800 attack with the ability to attack 2 times for each head. Unfortunately, it loses that effect when it becomes 3 heads, but whatever. They need some way to make the Cyber Twin Dragon viable on its own, because the Cyber End Dragon is good because that has 4000 attack. This one's weaker, but has that benefit. So, the game's going to keep asking me if I want to use Defusion, but I do not. So, let's start smacking them. I don't think Jaden has anything that can really compete. Oh, will you look at that? Will Defusion allow me to bring my monsters in whatever position I want? Let's see. I don't know if it does. Special summon a fusion monster to the field? Yes. How about you put him in defense mode? See, this is how a Duelist champion runs. Because Mirror Force would have destroyed all my attack position monsters. But if I bring all back and they end up being in defense mode, nothing he can do. There'll also be barking in the background, but I really can't compete with nature, so if you happen to hear some of it, I'll try to cut out as much of it as there is in the mic background, but, you know, I'm gonna keep that going. I have dogs. It is an unfortunate fact of my life. Trust me, I've tried many times to fix it. Sudru's Cyber Phoenix. While this card is in attack position, negate any spell and traps that target exactly 1 machine monster, and no other cards. When this card is destroyed by battle, sent to the grave, draw a card. Cyber Phoenix is good to essentially make it so it's like, hey, I have a card that can destroy your best monster. No you don't, you gotta get rid of Phoenix first. So we begin the assault. Don't be a... oh, damn it. I was about to say, please don't be, Clayman. But instead it was worse, it was Wing Karibo. No damage can be taken after that, so... Jaden saved himself for another turn. And now has brought up Burcinatrix. And killed Cyber Phoenix, I guess, because he didn't like it. We use its effect, get a free draw. Drew our Cyber Larva, pretty good. But we essentially just got our best card we have, Power Bond. So, we fuse a machine monster, right? So in this case, we take our 3 Cyber Dragons, and we throw them into the grave. They fuse, and I'm going to take damage equal to my monster's attack at the, I believe, end of the turn. But in exchange for that, our attack is doubled. Let me do it, game. Let me do it, you son of a fucking whore. I will select the left. What is it? Yes! It wasn't an elemental hero. We win. And that's why Power Bomb's great. Hero emerges. If I had picked an elemental hero in his hand, he would have summoned it. But since I picked something that wasn't a hero, he just took 8,000 to the face. We just had our very first OTK in this. And to be honest, it was the perfect way to do it, because that was the ace combo for Zane in this, at least in the first season. It's like, yo, it's amazing. And it's a card that also Cyrus ended up having, but he's like, I'm a really crappy duelist. I'm afraid to use something this powerful. And he's like, I don't know if I'm good enough or worthy of it. So Jaden takes things well. Cyrus stops getting out of his rut. And things start doing a little bit better, you know? Like, things improve. Jaden may have lost, but it's gonna be okay. And I'm really happy because it's been a bit, and I was worried if I was gonna do some super cool shit in this LP. Or at least for the GX section, and that one was a pretty damn good one. Doing an OTK with an 8,000 point Cyber Dragon, just showing you how nuts it can get. Anyway, in the next duels, in the next episode, we'll be doing Formula for Success, which is going to have us use a couple of the people who haven't really been featured too much in the GX storyline so far, because they cut out a lot of fluff. So this has been KZ with Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, the Let's Play the Movie. See you guys next time.